You know, one of the truly great things about living here in the distant future is all of the different technologies and compounds and things that we have today that we didn't have years ago. And I'm trying to adapt to this, this idea, right? Like, for instance, these days, it used to be you wanted to change a fender or a quarter panel or something on a car, and you'd have to weld on it for hours and hours, and then you would have to spend like days, sometimes weeks or even months straightening out the ripples and the dents and the dings and then filling it with an inch or two of Bondo. And now they have panel bonding adhesive, right? What a brilliant idea. Just glue this stuff together. So, and because I'm always trying to raise my levels, raise my standards, and adapt to these new technologies, I started giving this some thought. And then, bam, it went off like a bullet right through my head, right? It said, we've already got something like this. We have a miracle adhesive that's been with us for generations, and it's completely underutilized. So I says to myself, I think we need to really experiment with this. I think that we need to explore all the various possibilities that we have today with this miracle adhesive. What's this miracle adhesive I'm talking about? Ready? Bondo. Simple, old school Bondo. It's so I'll have to do a demonstration later. So how am I experimenting with this? Well, we've got our 50cc Yamaha scooter / pit bike, and there were a few modifications I wanted to make to it. Bring it up to speed, bring it up to 21st century, goodness. So I wanted to add a few things to it. And I was like, well, okay, I can drill, and I can tap, and I can nut and bolt, and I can weld. And I even did. I welded an auxiliary light to it. See, right here. I welded that on there. But then I says, no, that's so old school. Welding? No. Bondo. So I figured if some auxiliary lighting is good, more auxiliary lighting is going to be better. So I added this fairing. So not only is it a additional lighting, but it's wind protection. So you run these things will hit 28, 30 miles an hour, and you want to have that extra protection. So I added the fairing and extra lighting. You see all of the extra lights. So how do you attach this? Well, okay, we did a little duct tape. But duct tape, no good. I added Bondo. I know, and it's disguised. You can't tell. You can't tell that I Bondoed that in place because look, it blends right in. But I mean, easily fixed. There you go. Okay? No fooling you there, baby. All right. So then I was like, okay, I'm not done here because this thing, as long as we're adding parts and we're adding features, as long as we're adding features to this bike, and we're deep in the process, I says, well, rear view mirror, since we're going to drive this thing on the street every once in a while, having a rear view mirror is important. So I added the rear view mirror, and I said, well, also I got to represent. My sticker is round, so I added the sticker to the mirror. But what that does is it limits the view to just around the outside. You see what I'm saying? You can't really you can't get a good view of things. Plus it's round, so you're only really able to see round things behind you. So I added this rectangular mirror, so now you can see square and rectangular things. See, look, here we go. See me in there. There's the GoPro. Very nice. So yes, I added this. Now, did I bother drilling and tapping and everything? No, I used Bondo. Look at this. Look at this. This is high-speed stable. That's not coming off. That's not coming off. That's simple Bondo. And I'll actually, you know what? Here, let's where did I put my paint? Here we go. Okay, here we'll see, just like that, it disappears. Right? I know. I wasn't done there. Wasn't done there. So, you know, I don't drink or do any drugs. I mean, but at some point I could see myself drinking excessively, especially in this business. So I added a drink holder. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. So, and again, the Bondo, this isn't going anywhere. Okay. And there it is. And no matter how you work with, you gotta work fast with this stuff. You gotta work fast with it. But you see, again, that's not a problem. Where did I put my paint? I lost my, oh, there it is. Okay, here. Blends right in. I'm pretty sure these are the tricks that Kiwi uses. Right, see? Like it was never there. Now you say to yourself, all right, so Bondo is an excellent adhesive for adding features and modernizing an older scooter. But what if I told you it works on electrical components also? So this scooter here, well, it had a bad CDI unit. So what we did was I bought this universal Chinese CDI off of Amazon, and I wired it into the original thing. Now, okay, to mount the CDI unit, obviously, I'd have to drill holes here because it doesn't fit the way the stock one did. So instead, I just created a nice bed of Bondo and placed it down there. And look, that's not going anywhere. That's on there. That's a permanently attached CDI. Then, here. So, you know, in the old days, we used to have to crimp, or, you know, or even older than that, we would solder, right? You know, we'd solder all of our wire connections. And then you have your solderless connections and shrink tubing and all of that. Why bother? Why bother when we have this miracle formula, this miracle compound? Look at this. Look at the way it covers the connections, okay? No shorting out. These things will never short out. They're not going to come apart either. At least, you know, not during like normal use. So, as you can see, I'm on top of it. I'm in the future. And there's one other thing too. All right, so we see how it can work for electronic components, and we see how it works for adding accessories. But what about pure cosmetics? So sometimes you have a sticker you want to put on your vehicle, right? But you don't really have the right surface for the sticker. Like, you know where you want to put it. You know where you want to put it. But it won't stay. It won't stay. Bondo, guys. Look at this. This sticker is not cut, well, maybe it will come off. But I'll just put a little more Bondo around the outside to catch. See? See? Okay, look, see? That part can't come off. Look at that. Okay, so yeah, a couple of areas need to be redone, but look at this. That's on there. That's on there forever. Guys, sometimes the answers to all your questions are right there in front of you. You just need to use your imagination and use your imagination. Oh, I hope you got something out of that. I'll see you tomorrow.